Good morning, good afternoon, and good day, everybody. This is the Collector. Today we're going to be talking about a history of the Planet of the Apes. Now, you may be asking yourself, just what are the Planet of the Apes films? Well, the Planet of the Apes films are one of the most beloved sci-fi franchises from the late 60s and beyond. The original 1968 movie mixed in satire and social commentary with action and suspense, while subsequent films dealt with the arms race and animal cruelty. Besides being entertaining, these films were also very innovative, from using state-of-the-art film makeup and being one of the first films to tell a complete story over several installments. 2011's Rise of the Planet of the Apes started a trilogy of prequel films that are meant to lead up to the original film's storyline. That film was followed by Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. War for the Planet of the Apes will complete the trilogy, but without giving away any spoilers. We're positive this film leaves room for the Planet of the Apes story to continue. But first, let's go back to 1963. La Planète des Singes, written by French novelist Pierre Boulle, was published in the United States, and producer Arthur P. Jacobs knew a good thing when he saw it, purchased the film rights before the book was even published. Between 1964 and 1966, Jacobs got a script, concept art, enlisted Charlton Heston to star, and even did a screen test to prove the movie could work, but doors continued to slam in his face. No one was ready for this would-be masterpiece until another sci-fi film, Fantastic Voyage, finally convinced the chief of 20th Century Fox, Richard Zanuck, that these types of movies had an audience. In February 1968, Planet of the Apes is released and is an immediate box office hit. The film was about a group of astronauts who crash into a planet in the distant future. They soon discover that, on this planet, apes are the superior beings and humans are the oppressed and enslaved. 20th Century Fox immediately requested a sequel to Planet of the Apes, and in May 1970, Beneath the Planet of the Apes was released. This time, a second space crew is sent on a reconnaissance mission to track down the sole survivor from the previous expedition. It seems that in addition to the apes ruling the planet, an underground city is being run by telepathic humans who have a bomb to blow up the planet to smithereens. After the second movie was also a hit, a third was released in May of 1971. Escape from the Planet of the Apes shows how some of the apes escaped before the planet was destroyed and travel back to Earth in 1973. After accidentally revealing the eventual downfall of the human race, the president orders the apes to be sterilized and their baby, the all-important Caesar, killed. Before they are killed, they manage to switch babies with another and ensure Caesar's survival. It looks like the third movie was not made with the same quality as the first two. It doesn't do as well in the box office. However, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes is released in June of 1972. Caesar is now an adult in a society where monkeys are exploited for their intelligence and serve as slaves to humans. After Caesar's human caretaker dies, his faith in mankind dies too, and he leads his people to revolt against their human masters. This film was rated PG, unlike the previous G-rated films, as the rebellion scenes, influenced by the 1965 Watts riots in Los Angeles, were much more violent. Battle for the Planet of the Apes is released in June 1973. A decade after Conquest, Caesar is now trying to unite the ape and human communities. The cheapest and lowest grossing movie of the series is the final chapter of the original series. That is, until 2001. In 2001, director Tim Burton decided to remake the original 1968 films, featuring an all-star cast like Mark Wahlberg, Tim Roth, Helena Bonham Carter, Michael Clark Duncan, Paul Giamatti, and Chris Christopherson. The film has commercial success, but received mixed reviews. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. However, the apes live on, and in June 2011, Rise of the Planet of the Apes opens in theaters and is an immediate success. Rise is loosely interpreted on Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which chronicles the beginnings of the ape rebellion and how they came to have superior intelligence in the first place. How do you think that happened? Turns out it was animal testing gone awry. The brilliant character actor Andy Serkis plays Caesar in an amazing motion capture performance. In July 2014, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is released. The growing nation of apes is led by Caesar and threatened by a group of human survivors. The groups reach peace, but only briefly, before the two sides are brought to the brink of war to determine who will become Earth's dominant species. This brings us to the present day and War for the Planet of the Apes, which was just released on the 14th of July 2017. Hail Caesar! Caesar and his apes are forced into a war with an army of humans. When the two leaders are pitted against each other, an epic battle ensues to determine the fate of each species and the future of the Earth. Who will survive? The humans or the damn dirty apes? While the story is meant to be a satire, including the book that started it all, they do force you to hold a mirror up to humanity and reality, to reflect on our own decisions using a ridiculously outrageous premise. War for the Planet of the Apes was #1 in the box office on opening weekend, proving that humans may be the superior being for now, but who knows what the future holds. My bet? It's probably dogs. Alright everybody, that wraps up another History Through Images with myself, the Collector. I wish you all the greatest of day, and as always, stay tuned and stay golden. Cheers. Does anybody remember the war gorilla from the original War for the Planet of the Apes? Where all he can say is, guns equals power. Power equals power. And it's just stupid. I think his name was like Bobo or something.